We're live. It's Thursday. I'm Eddie Stone. Hello to Instagram up top, and we've got our good friends on Facebook and YouTube here on the bottom camera. So nice to be able to connect with everyone. Thank you for taking a few minutes today and joining me. Depending upon where you are and what kind of work you're doing, this may be your 10th live or Skype or Zoom or something like that today. Involved with here our sort of new normal with how we work and how we do things. I want to take a few minutes today and recognize the more than 5,000 people that have joined our community, joined our organization over the last several weeks. But before I do that, and I do have some sort of ideas and instructions maybe to leave you with, I want to take a moment here and just really sort of recognize this moment that we're in and some of the millions of people, not just here in the U.S., but around the world that have been affected by this current pandemic, this situation that we find ourselves in. And then also really thank sincerely, not just for myself, but for my family and our staff, our team, and many of our members that we've talked with, the countless individuals. And at this point, we know it totals millions of individuals around the world that are involved with medical work on the very, very front lines, our EMS workers, fire departments, which get called on to support them, our law enforcement, soup kitchens and food aid organizations that have just come to the rescue of millions of families. Again, not just here in the US, Canada, Mexico, but around the world. Our food service workers, wow, we love you. Thank you for showing up every day and doing what you do to keep us fed. The truck drivers that keep everything moving down the road in difficult circumstances, right? Because things have changed and how they access restrooms and other aspects of that. Delivery services, how timely for that side of our society to be out there for us. The countless teachers who have gone above and beyond, along with the school work staffs, to make sure as much as possible kids get fed that need to be. There's some type of lessons associated with home learning and supporting the parents who probably have a deeper appreciation for teachers and school workers than maybe ever before. And then helping to celebrate those individuals that missed out on their very worthy graduation ceremonies and other things that go with that. It's so entrenched and so important with what we do. Our state and local government and national government figures that, regardless of your political bias or attention, we know that no matter what, they're doing what they can to help us get through this. The scientists that are behind helping us digest what's going on, not just in this moment, understanding the statistics, but also for what will be, we hope, some type of therapeutic treatment for this in the future. There's just so many people, journalists, for keeping us informed. Thank you for the work that you do. And finally, for friends and family and community that help keep us going and help cheer us on. I think that if we all, if we're forced to sort of do all this from some strength from within, I believe in a lot of us, but I know it's more powerful when there's a community aspect of it and we draw strength from one another. And then the last thing I want to do is I want to thank you for doing your part. For those that I can reach here, maybe those that'll get this message on a replay, it's really taken an effort by our entire society as much as possible to try to beat this back, make it manageable. And so we just want to recognize that. I want to give you a thanks, 1,000 times over, a big thank you for what you do. And I also want to realize in this moment, as we're celebrating individuals that are working with us and developing this organization, reaching people with this good health message in our community, I want to recognize the thousands of people that have suffered at the hands of the virus, those that have lost their lives and been taken from us far too soon, and for those that are suffering because of family members that have suffered with this virus. So it's been a incredible journey so far. I mean, I realize it's only been a few months, but it maybe feels like a couple of years. I don't know if you feel that same way, but I believe in people. I do, to my very core. We've got a big hill to climb in front of us, but I believe deeply in what we'll be able to do together. And no matter how long this takes, we will prevail. The human spirit is just one of those undeniable forces of nature, and we're going to make this happen. So thank you to all. Our business today is to recognize those more than 5,000 people I mentioned that have joined our community. First, a giant welcome. Welcome to the community. Frankly, welcome to the family, the organization. We're so excited to have you be a part of Touchstone Essentials and what we're doing. A giant congratulations to all of our advocates. We've got so many people that just passionately believe and know the difference that these products can make in people's lives. Thank you for that work. For our business builders, our organizational leaders, thank you for what you're doing. You've really stepped up your game. The amount of activity and instruction and connection taking place through social media, private phone calls, Zooms, it's just remarkable how quickly this organization has transformed itself into being supportive and frankly helping to develop results here in a new working environment. You're a part of that. Pat yourself on the back. You deserve a heck of a lot of praise for your nimbleness and your spirit. And we recognize you and thank you. And, together there's just unbelievable things we're going to be doing. One of my underlying beliefs during sort of the middle of all this, it's always been there for me, but maybe it's a heightened amount of appreciation now, is the role that entrepreneurialism plays in our society. I think we can all see that right now when we see what happens because of safety measures, small businesses on Main Street and in our counties and on our countrysides get shut down. And the millions of people that are employed by those businesses, their lives are those businesses and how they serve the community. And so I just have a deep appreciation for entrepreneurialism. I believe it's what builds the U.S. to its success and also around the world. It's a common denominator, no matter the language, no matter the country, no matter the religion. Entrepreneurialism is what drives our society. I know it's the big corporations that get all the hoopla, and they're probably what the financial papers talk about, but it's really those individual stories that make all the difference. And I'm proud, more than I frankly can express, the role that Touchstone Essentials can play in helping individuals start a business. And frankly, start a business without those traditional financial risk and responsibilities. When you show up, you just need to show up with your desire. It's helpful if there's some enthusiasm behind it, but you don't have to have any prior experience or skill. You don't have to have a certain type of education. You don't have to be an expert. You just need to be someone that enjoys the idea of working for yourself and the ability to reach out and affect and touch your community. I applaud you with all of my being and your independent spirit and celebrate you and your determination, and I'm excited about my opportunities from afar today, but eventually in person to get to know you and meet you and work with you in the days, weeks, months, and decades to come. It's exciting. Amidst all of the other stuff, there's glimmers of hopes and excitement. Now, a couple things I wanted to mention while I've got your attention. And one of them is, as you're getting started, maybe there's just a lot of things on your mind. One of the very first things to do is to make sure you're really connected with why you've decided to do this. What is it that inspired you to make a decision to enroll, order our products? Is it because you want to improve your health? Have you got something specific that you're working on? Did you hear somebody else's story that inspired you? If it's just, hey, listen, I no longer want to be completely vulnerable to just sort of one source of income. Is that sort of what's driving you? The reason I bring that up is as you go about talking to other people about what you're excited about, it'll be less about, what we do and how we do it and our products. They're important in terms of why people might want to get involved. But the real interesting bit here and what causes people to pay attention is your own personal story. We want to hear from other people why they're doing things, understand their motivations. Your peer group is your peer group for a reason, right? You connect with them in some capacity. Make sure you keep your story handy. Learn how to tell that story. It'll make a big difference in your success. I want you to remember you've got a lot of tools. There's too many tools for me to mention on a broadcast like this, but one of the most important to understand is that the website is sort of the centerpiece of our community. It's really where we give the information, make the information available that allows people to answer questions, develop their interest, develop the strength of their interest, and choose to get involved with us. For example, the shop pages, each individual product has a shop page with just probably more information than you want to take time to fully consume, including an FAQ section, which will answer most of the questions. I bring this up because it's not important that you become an expert here. I think a lot of people kind of hit a pause button when they first get involved and think, oh my gosh, now I got to become an expert. Don't try to become an expert at anything that you're not. That's not important. Develop the enthusiasm and the ability to tell the reason why you like a certain product and you're involved with it, or why you like the opportunity and why you decided to get involved. That's important, but develop the ability to say, you know what, I don't have that answer, but I'm going to send you a link that will allow you to get the answers that you're looking for, understand what COM 1500 Advanced is or what Super Green Juice is. And so just remember that that's a tremendous resource for you. Also on the website, in the top navigation, there's a collaboration tab. And if you don't know the collaboration tab, although you probably do if you got involved with us, somebody introduced it to you, make sure you familiarize yourself with the collaboration tab, particularly the VBO section, which is what the majority of you are. You're visionary business owners with us, and we appreciate that. On that page is a lot of tremendous information, but particularly there is an animated video explaining our compensation plan and its benefits. It's really helpful and will make a difference. And frankly, if I were introducing this business to people myself, the first thing I would do is say, hey, listen, I want to send you over here to this collaboration tab. I want you to watch this little animated piece on the company so you can understand the spirit behind the organization, but most importantly, the details of where this entrepreneur business comes from and the mechanics of how it works. So just keep that in mind. Finally, I'll mention there are a lot of resources in your back office, as well as a special resource page. It's a little bit hidden. There's not a primary navigation, but if you go to thegoodinside.com/resources, it opens up an entire file set of digital assets that you can use to build your business. So just keep in mind that's there. And one other sort of big piece to all this is our gift card program. All of you that are VBOs, you have gift cards in your back office. It will depend on the depth of your interest in what you've been doing, just how many of those that you have. But make sure you familiarize yourself with the gift card program. It's very important. It's a tremendous tool when you're speaking to someone and they're just sort of uncertain. Even though all of our products come with an unconditional money-back guarantee, it may take that $50 gift card to help them make that final decision. If you're not familiar with it, please look for those initial orientation emails that we send out. There's a couple in that sequence that focus on the gift card. And if you have further questions that haven't been able to be answered, reach out to our support team. They're more than happy to talk to you and help you understand further how the gift card program works. And then one other piece that you'll find in that email series is the user guide, product user guide, excuse me. You've got this package of products. And I realize for a lot of people, maybe you've never used a green juice or taken CBD oil or used a zeolite detox before, things of that kind. And so, it can be a little intimidating, right? So the user guide can help, but at the end of the day, you just got to dive in. The water's warm. I promise that. Dive in. If you need to talk to somebody in the organization or see somebody posting on Facebook that's used the products and their experience, or you can even call support. They're happy to help you with that. But make sure you get into the products. They can't do anything for you if they're just sitting on the kitchen counter. The magic comes when you actually put them inside your body. And then maybe one of the other things I'll mention in this regard is make sure you're reaching out to your team. Everyone that's involved has somebody that enrolled them, and they've got somebody that enrolled them. And so there's an organizational leadership and structure out there. Get a hold of them, make a phone call, and talk to people with experience. Share with them what your ideas are, what you're wishing to accomplish, and get whatever questions you have answered. I'll tell you, for my own self, I got started in this industry back in the spring of 1990. So it's been a number of years. And when I got started, I was one of those persons that I had a lot of questions. So I decided, I'm just going to be a sponge as much as possible. And so as many conference calls as I could get on and attend, that's exactly what I did. That's back when we were able to go out there and do meetings, right? And so I attended every kind of event that I possibly could. The great news is a lot of that stuff happens online these days, but I just remember to drive into everything I saw because everybody had a little pearl of wisdom or something I could glean from what they said, because I really wanted to make this happen. And I knew if I took my determination and combined it with some time, and even if I had to work off of other people's experience to shorten my learning curve, we could make some magic happen. And that's what we did. So immerse yourself in the culture so that you can learn what you need to learn to be successful. And then the last thing I'll leave you with on this regard is you're going to get an email from us. You get this when you first get involved, and you get it when you buy our products, asking you to provide a review. And I realize we're asking you to take a few moments out of your day to do that. But in today's world, in our culture today, consumers like you really depend on the social commentary and the social proof that's provided by our peers to go out there, review a product, review a company, share their opinion, good or bad. You know, we work with a third-party review site so that it's an unfiltered set of comments. That's important because we want you to understand the authenticity of what people are saying. I'm very proud to tell you that we have thousands upon thousands of 5-star reviews. Thank you to one and all that have helped to provide those. But please take some time and share with us, you know, what your opinions are, what your thoughts are. We hope you've had a great experience. It's also a way for us to learn, if you haven't, what we can learn to do better. So that's sort of the last thing from a sort of an instruction standpoint I'll offer today. As I close out, I just again want to say thank you. When you got involved, you might not have fully realized it, or maybe it was part of your decision. You're a part of an organization that is dedicated. We've got a locked-in goal in front of us to reach 1 million families globally with our opportunity, with our products, connecting with communities, at the very minimal to educate them about food consumption, food preparation, the role that nutrition plays in health, all the way into empowering people on a global scale how to build their own business from part-time to earth-shaking full-time to building an empire. And we appreciate you connecting with us, working with us to help us do that. Those are really top of mind goals and important to us. So thank you. At the company, if we really sort of break down what it is we want to do, I'll tell you right up front, we want to be a tool. We want to be a partner. We want to take our labor and our experience to help you reach the very fullest measure of your potential, whatever that is. And we think those are very worthy things. We think you reaching the maximum of your health potential is important for what it means for you personally, but for your family and community and the example that provides. We think maybe now more than ever, being a platform to you realizing your entrepreneurial dreams and celebrating that spirit and that tenacity, because that's what it's going to take to help pull us out of this moment, this chasm that we find us in, to get back to where we want to go and how we want to impact society. So we celebrate that. We thank you for that. The world may have been battered over the last several months, but you know what? My money's on people. My money's on the people around this world to go make a difference, no matter how difficult the circumstances. They won't always be this difficult. We're going to have people we have to reach out to and help that just don't have the faculties and facilities that we might. That's why we want to go be successful so we can make those contributions and help people. So with that, I just want to thank you. I want to thank our friends on Instagram. I want to thank our friends on Facebook and YouTube. I appreciate you. I appreciate your time, and I'm excited to be your partner. Bye for now.